Don't fade me, bro. This is the WeWin Sports Podcast.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the WeWin Sports Podcast. I may change the name of this podcast to Fade Helmuth and Friends. In fact, that's what I want to do. Mikey is 0-12. That's 0 wins and 12 losses. He was unlucky again. Cincinnati should have won. Yeah, whatever. You're 0-12. Mike has never given...
0-8, I thought.
No, you're 0-12. He's never given one single winner on the podcast. Now, Mikey and I, to be fair, we both finished at the bottom of our Against the Spread league. I was right down there with him, unfortunately. Today, we're going to give our 30-second rants. We're going to give our pick of the weeks, and then we'll chat about the $100 buy-in World Championship of Survivor Pools at Splash Sports. David Woodley is basically a professional sports bettor. Woodley has great knowledge and sharp takes. My guy, Brandon Cantu, has some well-thought-out contrarian takes. If you like the underdogs in the NFL, contrarian Cantu used to be your man. I heard Mike, by the way. Mike is picking two favorites, but let's get to that in a second. Mike the Mouth knows sports, although he lost $3 million betting sports, and he's 0-12. But last year he did heat up, and he did heat up the last couple of weeks. Just not on our podcast, but bet against him at your own peril. Let's start with Mike's take on Monday Night Football. Woodley and Cantu, was that not just incredible? Hearing Mike go on and on about how the Dallas Cowboys should have won.
I mean, it's comical, and it's even nicer when you're on the other side of it. Mike and I bet that game, so it's even more joyous when you're actually winning money from it, because you're making
Carson
money
said
and
that
getting
their defense was great, also, and that they only gave up 20 points. And
Mike, let him finish. Poor Woodley.
No, it's all right. That's all right. I don't mind Mike jumping that. We'll come back to that, Woodley. I'm just going to say this. What was the final score, Woodley? Do you know?
It was a lot to a little, but I believe they more of 34-10.
34-10.
Oh my God!
Mike said it should have been 2016.
He said it was 2016.
Should have been 20-16.
Mike,
26.
Well, why don't you go ahead and bet Washington this week if you think Dallas is fucking going to lose by 10?
Mike, Mike sits there and he wants Dallas, and all year. Now, I will give him credit on this, right? All year he's said that Stroud isn't that good, and Stroud hasn't been that good. Now, Mike said he's, as Mike does, Mike's way over here, and then Ben's over here, and then Woodley and Phil, the voice of reason, are somewhere here in the middle, right? I've been saying Stroud's the 15th to 20th best quarterback this year, but Mike hates Stroud. He thinks Stroud's a bomb, so he is firing Dallas. No way Dallas can miss it. No way on this. And man, just watching him during, we're texting during the game, right? And Houston dominated them. But every time Dallas gets a penalty or misses a kick, this is me. I would have been 10-0 this week, but it's 3 kickers missed.
Wait a minute. If the idiot makes a field goal 30 yards and they don't take the 64-yarder off the fucking board, it's 20-16, and maybe the ass fuck doesn't get strip sacked, and fucking that was the game.
Mike,
okay, if you're down 4 instead of 10, and you have to throw every hand, give me a fucking break. The coach
Cantu,
is
what was the final
idiot.
score, Cantu?
I think it was 34-10.
The 7 on the end is they went for it on 4th and 20 at their own 25. Give me a break.
Points?
That touchdown, though, they didn't get shit. After the first 2 scores, they didn't get shit.
This is almost as bad as when Mike was very upset when, 52-14 Lions?
Yes.
Who'd the Lions beat? Colts?
They had 3 kickoff returns and a fucking punt return.
No, it was maybe the Titans. It was the Titans they beat. And it kind of reminds me of that where he's complaining that they should have covered. This was right up there. This is the number 2.
52-14.
It was 52-14. If only a ball bounced this way, a field goal went in.
7 interceptions.
It's really crazy. This is the exact same thing.
All right, listen.
34-10.
I have a rant, okay?
Wait, hold on, Mike. Hold on.
Mike,
Mike, I want to come with your rant, but Cantu, we got to give Cantu, Cantu's in a great mood, and I'll tell you why. Seattle won. Russell Wilson, his hero, is back. Cantu's in a great mood.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, Seattle went in and beat the Niners, so Cantu's in a great mood, and so do you have anything on the Kelceverse? Hopefully a shorter take this time.
A shorter take. There's not much there. So
okay.
Big news. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, their houses got broken into by a professional ring, a South American transnational.
The Venezuela gang.
The Venezuelan gang, they're supposedly very sophisticated. They're targeting NBA and NFL homes everybody needs to be on high alerts. That was one thing. And then the other thing is, the only other thing I could come up with was this weekend, Jason Kelce set a Guinness Book of World Records for longest hot dog. Like, he had the bun, and the guy from Dude Perfect threw 167 feet, and he caught a hot dog into a bun. And here's Jason Kelce going crazy. Woodley, are you impressed?
No, I mean, the longer Jason Kelce sticks around, the further our society declines. I was talking to my friend who is a Swiftie from day one. I don't want to blow her cover. We'll just call her MD. And we were really talking about things. And she's like, they're not dating. He's the beard to her. Now, sometimes you get the beard going the other way, maybe like a Tom Cruise type thing. But there is a subculture, and it is deep. And they call themselves Gaylor Swift. And it's this idea, and she's been dropping hints out there. I'm only into week 1 in this deep dive, but I do see this here. So I will have an update next week on the potential reverse beard of Travis Kelce. And if we break this story wide open,
Woodley, I don't look forward to that
changer.
take. And I don't like, and I don't, and I think.
Don't sue us, sue Woodley.
It's great, right? There's nothing. There is zero wrong with it, and it kind of goes to Mike's point last week about trying to please everyone here and there, and that's kind of the underlying thing. They're like, oh, well, like
I'm going to draw the line at the Kelce mother. I'm a fan of the Kelceverse. I say it again, so I'm trying to disassociate myself.
She's nice. She's nice, but she doesn't need to be this celebrity. Like, not everyone has to be a celebrity, and we're in this culture now where. But there's a lot of things to talk about sports.
Agree.
We have to spend time here, but like, it's just get Jason Kelce off the screen. The mom is very nice. Like, there's nothing there, but she's not. She's not a celebrity.
Mom's really not even attention grabbing this year. I don't think
this is true. Like, at least the noise has died down a little bit now that Jason Kelce. He finally lost the game. He's getting robbed. Maybe he's going to get his focus on there, so the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl. But too many distractions. And like I said, I'm going to dive deeper into this conspiracy theory. I know Mike wants to dive in as well.
Yeah, we're going to hold on. We're going to come to Mike first, Rant. But I mean, hell, I was thinking about it as you guys were talking. We might as well just talk about the Kelceverse the entire podcast, since we seem to have a losing picks every single week. Mike, what's your rant?
Okay.
No. One of us went 2-0 again. One of us came in third place in the 10 pick'em. All right. So like,
yeah, you must have picked Seattle and Minnesota again. Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I went 0-2 last week. Okay. But there's a but. Okay. With
It should have been 20-16.
Shut the fuck up. With 3:12 to go in the game, Miami's at their own 38-yard line, and the fucking Raiders have one timeout. All they got to do is get stopped on 3rd and 12 or get a first down, and they win the game by 6, game over. Okay? But no, he fucking throws it to some wide-open guy that runs 62 yards for a touchdown, and I blow the Miami game as my fucking number 2 pick. My number 1 pick, the fucking Cincinnati Bengals, after being down 21, destroyed San Diego, or the LA Chargers at halftime. Destroyed them. Went 3 straight touchdowns on 3 straight possessions. Then they got the ball back, ran right down the field. They fucking couldn't make 2 40-yard field goal tries. They missed them both, and then fucking I lose the game somehow. They outgained them by 100 yards, and fucking, you know what? Joe Burrow became the first quarterback in history to fucking throw for 780 yards, 7 touchdowns, no picks, and lost both games.
Did you see that, Mike? Did you see that? He has 4 300-yard games.
A 400 and a 350.
Right,
a
and
total
lost
of
them all.
780.
All right, Woodley, you want to come in with your rant, or Cantu? Who's ready? Cantu, you ready?
I'm ready.
Good fire.
I'm so tired of these leagues just not wanting to get calls right. And here's kind of a perfect example. I mean, the easy one is like Major League Baseball. We know it's a ball and a strike. We have a thing right here. Just it tells us if it's a ball or a strike. In the NFL, we have something that all we have to do is put a little GPS on the football. We can tell exactly where the ball is. We're on the yardage marker. This is so basic that this is costing teams games. And it's not even like in baseball where like oh, you're trying to get the player to argue with the umpire and get tossed out, and maybe we get a brawl. None of that even occurs in the NFL. It's so quick. You don't even need, like, I guess you could barely use a little replay assist. They tell you exactly what centimeter line to put it at. And here we go. We're on with our day. I can't take it. It's so stupid that we're dealing with the chain gang. What do we really need to watch the chain gang go up and down the field? I'm so tired of it.
All right, that's a good one. I've never heard anybody say GPS for the ball. I like that idea. Woodley?
My rant is on Mike because he comes on here every fucking week, and it's always the games that I go against him on. Like, if you recall this, I took Miami and I took the Chargers, and he sat there shit all over the Chargers. The Bengals are going to beat them. All that. What did I say? I said people overrate the Bengals, the Sharps, the Fezzicks, and the fucking Mike Matisows of the world. They overrate the Bengals, and I just hear this nonstop. All right, that score that Miami had, that touchdown,
Make a fucking field goal and I would win.
The field goal would have beaten the spread too against the Raiders. Like, yeah, the Miami got like a 50-yard touchdown on the pass, but if they would have got another first down,
62 on 3rd and 12 at their own 38 with 3 minutes to go and 1 timeout left. First down, game over. Get stopped, game over. Fuck off.
First down, the game wasn't over because there was enough time. They could have gotten into field goal range. They could have gotten into all that. But
they're
again,
at their own 38-yard line. Fuck off.
According to Mike, the only bad beats that ever happened to him. He's been on the other side of these, but he'll never talk about being on the other side of it. All right.
Well, hold on, Woodley. He can't talk about being on the other side because he's never won a game, so he can't be like, "Oh, I got lucky." Mike can't ever say he got lucky.
All we hear throughout an entire game thread is when he's on one side and they get down 7 points. Oh, I was on the right side. I was on the right side. I missed the right side.
I bet 3 games last week. I lost 2 of them. I won Seattle. I lost Miami. I got fucked. And I lost Cincinnati. I got fucked.
Mike.
So fuck off.
He's 0-12 on this podcast, so he can make up his stats wherever he wants. Mike, when Dallas loses 34-10, he was on the right side. And he will never say he's on the wrong side. He's always on the right side because Fezzik was on that side. Therefore, Mike was on that side. Therefore, we're all squares, even though I probably won like 8 of my last 10 bets against Mike, but that makes me the square.
Okay, Woodley, all right. I'm going to continue this rant because
you're a real good handicapper. I'll take Minnesota and Seattle. What's your 2 picks this week? Minnesota and Seattle. Oh, I'm a fucking homer. Fuck off.
8-2, dude. 8-2.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to say this.
I bet that's his picks this week too. Minnesota and Seattle.
Probably.
Great fucking handicapper. Takes his homer.
Mike, stop.
Mike, I'm number 8 out of 148 in our pool, right? I've now cashed a couple weeks. I'm in the money again, like I was last year and the year before. All right, you are 110 out of 148. You're right. I will give you credit, though. I will give you credit. You are right there with the world's #1 professional gambler, Sean Perry. So, like, you are in good company there.
Okay. That's why we need to change this to Fade Helmuth and Friends. I think I'm actually going to ask. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Hey, it's Thursday. I got my shit ready, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's what you said last week. We record Tuesdays. Last week you said it's Wednesday. I'm going to give you guys 2 winners.
I was like fucking 90% to win both of them. Maybe 97% in the fucking Cincinnati game. I was 97% in the Cincinnati game.
Cantu, what do you type in the chat? Like, I always type in the chat because my rant is also exactly what Woodley did. I didn't even have a rant, but I'm going to go with what Woodley did. Mike is unbelievable. He's just unbelievable. Like, you can be watching a game and it's 14-7, and we all know it should be 21-7. And instead, Mike's like, the game should be 14-14. And it's like there's evidence every single game that, they had this turnover. They shouldn't have done this. That happens to both teams.
Go look at the fucking odds of Cincinnati winning the game. They were 97.2% with 3.5 minutes to go in the fucking game. Give me a break.
There's no way they were that. I'll look it up right now, Mike.
All they needed was a fucking first down. It was pass interference. They didn't even fucking call it.
Hey, Mike, what was the Bengals percentage of winning at half when it was 27-6?
So what? They crushed them in the second half.
Mike,
okay.
Okay, let me just say this. My favorite thing to text into the chat lately.
They were not 97. They were at their peak in that game. The peak with 2:40 to go in the fourth quarter. It was 71%. So I'm sorry, 3-1 didn't come home, Mike.
Fuck you.
Okay, guys, hold on. I just want to say this. One last thing here. It's interesting. So this is my rant, and my favorite thing to text into the chat lately, because we're on this chat, is I like to text in unlucky Mike. And then Cantu, unlucky Mike, and then Woodley, unlucky Mike. Because Mike never, I don't think he's ever lost a game where he said he was on the wrong side. Mike, by the way, you were making some bold assertions. I know, we can all see, we're all in the same league. You were 2-8 this week.
I was on Cleveland last week.
You were 2-8, Mike. All right, now I'm going to go to Woodley for your number one pick.
Well, Phil, just before we get there, we have to talk about Mike. He's been putting into our chat that he's been going on to all these other podcasts. Oh, during my podcast, I went. What was your record on your podcast this week, Mike?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I do homework. Okay, I do homework and I get stats.
Mike went on the Hawk Tua podcast, and what was your record on the Hawk Tua podcast, Mike?
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways,
okay, now we can go to our top picks. Give our podcast the winners.
I'm
We want them.
Woodley, 2 winners this week.
Woodley, I just want us all to say this like 3 times each. Fezzik.
Well, that's who he follows, not me.
Woodley, say Fezzik.
Fezzik blocked me, so no,
Fezzik. Can you say Fezzik, Cantu?
Fezzik.
Mike's guy is Fezzik. Okay. Now we're gonna go to
Fezzik's number one pick this week is the Vikings. Oh, Woodley's on it. Woodley's following fucking Fezzik. Congratulations, what he always does.
I've never followed. Fezzik blocked me when he
Sure he did. How are you on the same number one pick as him then?
I wonder how I'm in the number one pick.
Well, why don't we start with Woodley's number one pick?
Woodley, give us your number one pick, Woodley.
Well, Steve Fezzik, he'll tell you who his number one pick is. Steve Fezzik's number one pick. Go ahead, tell him.
Why don't we? Are you done?
Yeah, because you guys are pissing me off.
Okay, so I'm going to go with a team that is 7-3 against the spread, but 8-2 with us picking them. And Mike can call it a homer, Mike can call it all this, but I've been right every single week on them. We're going with the Vikings. I got them in -3, but right now it's
number one pick.
-3.5.
Homer Vikings. Oh, the Vikings. Hard to believe. Oh, you really good handicap. Great handicap.
I'm in 8th place out of 148. Anyways.
Yeah. Wait till your home team start losing.
Okay, then I'll be in 19th place.
Yeah, okay.
So it's 3.5. You got it at 3 earlier in the week. They're playing at the Bears, who are a mess, right? I mean, that really felt like their last ditch effort.
It was.
On the flip side, the Vikings defense is incredible. I mean, it's a top 2 or 3 defense out there. Like on this side of the ball, there is nothing that worries me about that Chicago offense whatsoever. In fact, that defense should feast on turnovers off Williams. I mean, that defense is blitzing more than anybody in the league. They're disguising it well. Williams, who again, I will say, I think he's going to be a very good quarterback someday. He's still a rookie. He's going to have a hell of a time. Like, he's going to turn the ball over quite a bit. And then you flip it over to the offense. The Vikings have like the 5th best pass blocking in the league. They're like the 8th best run blocking in the league, which means like they're sturdy up there, right? Aaron Jones is doing well. Justin Jefferson's, in my opinion, the best offense player that's not a quarterback. Maybe the best player in the NFL, honestly. Who's not a quarterback. He's incredible. Addison just had a big week. Hawkinson, they're bringing along like slowly but surely. Like, he's sort of there, and like Hawkinson's going to have his big breakout week. But Darnold Mike will shit on Darnold. He'll shit on him all day. He'll shit on him all day. And Darnold is having too many interceptions and turnovers and stuff. But if like everything else there shows that Darnold is doing great. Like EPA, which is a way to measure quarterbacks. He's number 5 in the NFL right now. And I'm not saying he should be in the MVP race because he's had too many turnovers. But if you eliminate those turnovers a little bit, if you take away a few of those Jameis Winston type passes, the Geno Smith type passes, he's right there in the MVP race. So I think he figured it out after the last game. He played, they played a lot smarter. They're going to go in and roll. Like, I actually like the alternate lines on this quite a bit as well. I like Minnesota 7. I like them 8. I like them 10. I think this could be the Bears. I think this could be that coach saved his job after that second loss against the Packers. I don't think he does it again. And the thing I'm going to mention, I kind of stole this from Mike, but I was thinking this as well, was for some reason the Packers were going into Chicago last week. I think it was up to 6. I think it closed at like 5 or 4.5 or 5. Like, the Vikings are not 2 points worse or 2.5 points worse than the Packers at this point.
Right.
The Vikings are better. So like, the market has still not caught up to the Vikings and like given them the respect. The market is still overrating the Bengals and the Packers especially, and then the market is underrating at this point. They're really underrating the Vikings, and I hate to say it, but they're really underrating the Eagles as well. So give me Vikings by a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to comment on that because I really like the Vikings a lot. Okay, I came this fucking close. I came this close of making them one of my top 2 picks. And a lot of the things you said is correct. Like the Vikings are I'm sorry, but Williams really struggles against, like, if he doesn't get the ball out quick enough, he gets sacked. And if he gets the ball out quick like he did last week, the Vikings are the number 1 team against quarterbacks that get the ball out fast. And that is a complete disaster recipe for Caleb Williams. I really like Minnesota this week, so I agree.
I love Minnesota as well, and it's really been impressive. And I'm going to say this, Woodley, homer pick. We got to tease you about it being a homer pick because you got the Minnesota sweatshirt on. You just have to be teased. It turns out it's a really good pick again. You just keep crushing it with Minnesota. But I really like Minnesota a lot as well. I'm going to bet them myself. It's been kind of impressive. I think what's going to happen, to kind of, you guys both touched on a little bit, I think what's going to happen is the Minnesota defense is going to be in the backfield of the Bears quite a bit. And we know that Caleb Williams has been horrible under pressure. He's not releasing the ball quick enough. And I'm not sure he's going to be a great quarterback. You guys all have this caveat. Yeah. Williams is going to be good someday. I'm not sure he's going to be good someday.
But again, like Minnesota is the number 1 defense against the guy who releases the ball quick. You saw what happened with the Jets with Rodgers, who tried to release the ball quick and he got intercepted. If he tries to get right, and so if he tries to speed it up, then Minnesota's defense dominates. If he doesn't, he gets sacked. I think they're in for a long day.
Yeah, so Minnesota's defense is really impressive. Cantu?
I want to hop in there real quick on Williams, though. You say, like, I think the problem with the Bears and Williams and everything. No, I think the problem with the Bears and Williams, it's the coach. It's the coach, it's the scheme, and it's everything. I think I'm not judging Williams this year. Like, let's wait till next year.
Cantu?
The Bears' offensive line, and I've said this last couple of weeks, is really bad. It's as bad. It's the worst in the NFL right now. They're just beat up. They look horrible, and you get to face this Vikings defense that looks really good. Among what we said, it really did feel like where Woodley said that the air when the Bears lined up for that last second field goal against the Packers and they missed that. I feel like the air out of like the whole city of Chicago just went out. I love Minnesota. I'm going to make that my number 2 pick. Put me down as the Vikings as my number 2 pick. I couldn't agree more, as we've all said, with the Vikings. The lines makers just don't have them valued correctly. And Woodley brings that up. We've talked about this almost every week on this show. They're a really good team, both sides of the ball. I think they win this game real big, like 4 touchdowns big.
Wow. I like that take, Cantu, because you touched on the offensive line for the Bears. I think that was really good. And it's just, we all kind of see the same thing. The Minnesota defense is going to crush them. Okay, Danny, that's a unanimous pick where we all actually love a pick. Usually, there's someone who's barely on it. So mark it right now, Danny. Unanimous pick. Put it down. And I'm coming to.
I think the reason why this line is open.
Mike, stop, Mike. We can't.
I want to say one more thing about it is because it is their 3rd straight road game, and I think that has something to do with it.
Okay, Mike, what's your number 1 pick?
My number 1 pick is the team I had last week, a team that I said was playing for their Super Bowl last week, and will be playing for their Super Bowl this week, and I will be laying 7. With the Miami Dolphins, who I think are one of the top 3 teams in the AFC, and I think that they might run the table. They are that good, and they lost 2 last-second games to Arizona and on the road, playing, Mike? And the Bills on the road, but they're playing the Patriots. Now, Mays looked a lot better, but I don't think they could score enough points to I think Miami's going to score 25 to 31, and I just don't see the Patriots scoring over 17.
Woodley?
It's a lot of. I I can't believe Mike's picking this one, honestly. I mean, this goes against like all his commandments, which means like
It does. It's a divisional game, which he hates picking against.
Oh, but here's one more thing. The Miami Dolphins are 8-0 straight up and 8-0 against the spread. The last 8 games they played the fucking Patriots.
Okay,
I wanted
but
to get that one in.
let me tell you this is going to go, okay? Like, the Dolphins win by like 4, and Mike's going to be like, I can't believe I'm never going to pick up favorite again and all that. It's 7.5. I mean, I think Miami look good. I mean, it is once again a Super Bowl for them, but it is, it's a divisional opponent. It's 7.5.
This is a Dolphins Super Bowl, you said here, Woodley?
Yes, and they're playing the Super Bowl every week because they have to win these games.
Oh, they're playing a Super Bowl every week.
Yeah, they're playing a Super Bowl every week. It's 7.5's a lot for a game that could kind of like fly to the under. I mean, I could see both teams trying to just like pound the ball. I mean, they both have kind of decent running games there. So 7.5 is just too many for divisional rival. And dude, New England. I mean, they're playing everyone tough, man. I know that the Rams kind of beat them and kind of handed it to them, or not handed. They kind of handed it to the Rams, but like that game wasn't. I don't know, man. They won like 2 or 3 before that. They barely lost against Tennessee in overtime. Like they've been playing a lot of teams close. And this Drake May, he's really impressed me. I mean, Feldman called out Knicks, but I mean, dude, May might be the best quarterback in the class. Their stock. He's been here. Daniels was here. He's been going a little bit, and you have kind of like May coming up, and then all of a sudden like Knicks was here, and like it's a very fascinating quarterback class. So I like the points. I like in the points with New England on this one.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Woodley. Cantu, you want to have thoughts on this one?
Yeah, the Patriots are playing good. They're actually playing, like, I'm not saying great. I'm not, well, even good might be a little. They're playing average on both sides of the ball, like, which is they've had some tough games recently, and they're playing all the teams tough that comes their way. I don't like giving 7 points. I kind of agree. Well, that's your pick of the week, Mike.
Yeah, well, it's my.
What do you mean you don't like?
I don't lay 7 very often.
Well, that's what I like about Mike. That's what I like about Mike. He went against everything to pick this, so that scares me that maybe he's right. Go ahead, Ken.
It doesn't scare me. The Patriots are playing average on both sides of the ball. I do think the Dolphins win this game. I think it's going to be somewhere in the 1-6 range. I think it's going to be a tight game all the way to the end, and I think we're going to be watching this. The Dolphins have been playing very good lately. I don't trust them, even though they're a completely different team with Tua. And how good is Tua, man? I don't think we can.
They beat the shit out of the Rams, and the Rams beat the shit out of the Patriots, even though the final was like 6, but they covered the spread.
That's a Thursday night game, though. I mean, it's Thursday night.
Anyways, I'm going to take. I want the points. I'll take the Patriots.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with Mike on this. I don't know if it's 7.5. It's Thursday. The lines do change. I'm gonna go. I just think it's a tough one for me. So I probably won't bet this game. So, but we have to make picks. So I'll say Miami because Tua's unstoppable. That offense is unstoppable. It's just fun to watch. I mean, I watch Miami because their offense is incredible. By the way, you guys know me. Promote. I'm staying at the Aria right now this week. It's Formula 1 week here in Vegas, and
I'll be home while you're down there.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, Phil. I'll be there tonight.
Okay. So Cantu, tonight I'm going to meet with some people from the show called Going Public, and I might go watch my friend race his Ferrari at the track. And then tomorrow I host the One Drop, which I hope a lot of people show up for. We're going to raise a lot of money for Guy Liberté and the One Drop. All right. We're going to go to Cantu for his number 1 pick.
My number 1 pick, it'll be the Ravens at the Chargers. I'll take the Chargers +3. I've been really preaching Chargers. Like this is the Harbaugh Bowl. It is the Harbaugh Bowl. I think Jim is going to be very ready, is going to even know more of John Harbaugh's tricks up his sleeve. I mean, you know who they're talking. They say that they talk multiple times a week. He's got to know the Ravens strategy in and out. And I would say, even while he does know Jim's strategy, it's been more that he's been in college. I'll tell you, the Chargers, I'm going to say it again, they're my favorite team against the spread. They won last week. They've been covering every week for the last 4 or 5. It's been the one thing that's really been solid for me. I'm not going away from them.
Okay.
I think the Chargers win outright.
I'm going to comment on this, and then I'm going to go to Mike on this. So I'm going to say that I have faith in the Ravens being a great team, but I'm starting to lose faith. I'm starting to lose faith because everybody just runs the ball up and down the field, and I don't understand. And yet, when it comes to the running game, they still look good, but everybody just passes the ball. Herbert's a great quarterback. Jim Harbaugh has unleashed him, has given him his full potential now. And I'm surprised at how good the Chargers defense is. Still, I'm not off the Ravens hill. I'll take the Ravens. Mikey, go.
I like this pick a lot. The Ravens fucking versus good defenses are just struggling, and their defense is a disaster. Like, yeah, Russell Wilson is the worst red zone quarterback, and that's why they only got 18 points. But they kind of went up and down the field, just like everybody else has done on them. And Herbert has been like, I think, the number 2 or 3 top-rated quarterback the last 7 weeks, and getting 3 at home here. The Ravens they find a way to lose. They're in close games. Every game they're in versus good teams, it comes down to one possession, and they find a way to lose. I'll take the 3 here. I think Cantu's on the right. I think they have the wrong side favorite in the game, to be honest.
I do too. I one more thing. This is a Monday night primetime game.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this game. This is a big one right here. I just want to say that.
I want to say this. I was going to let Woodley go right away, but I'll cover. All I can say is, guys, I've been on the road. Starting in California, I went to Vegas, Chicago, Houston, Vegas. I'll be home Saturday night unless somebody shows up with Formula One trackside. I'm going to fly home. I'm going to watch the game Sunday, relax at my house. I'm looking forward to the whole weekend, the whole slate. Monday night, you got me fired up. Can't do that. The Harbaugh Bowl on a Monday night. What do you have to say, Woodley?
Chargers are 7-2-1 against the spread this year, so it's hard to go against them. Yeah. With that said, I am going to go against them. This is it's a little cliche, but
you could lay 2.5.
The Chargers have been they've been playing great. It's hard to go against them. All that. I think on this one, it's just this is such an important game for the Ravens. They have to win this to really keep their, let's be honest, they came in Super Bowl or bust, and they have to win this game to have a shot at that. They're not going to go on the road. Nobody's going to go on the road 3 games in the AFC and make the Super Bowl, period.
Yeah, but they're basically 3 games out in the division, 2 plus a tiebreak.
Yeah,
and if the Chargers win, that's why Chargers win. That's why I'm saying that. That's why this game's so important. They can't lose this game. If they lose this game, they are resigned to a wild card spot. So it is. But you don't think the Chargers could beat the Kansas City, who's got 4 or 5 lucky wins, and they still have 1 game left against them?
I don't think it's that big of a game.
I think it's huge. I think it's absolutely huge.
It's a great big game for the Ravens.
I think they're really good bouncing back. I think they're pissed. I think they've lost a lot of these games where they should have won. They gave away all 4 games. They've given away, and I think they bounced back. They got a great coach. They have sky high ambitions. They are going to come in. I'm not saying players don't give it all every game, but this they're going to give it their all. And I think they've listened to the haters. They still have the 31st ranked pass defense. I don't know. This total has moved from 47 to 51. They still have Hamilton and stuff. I think Lamar comes out on a mission. I think they come out. I think Henry's out there. They got so many good players. I think they come out firing. I think I hate the 3. I don't like a little bit, but I also I think the Ravens covered. I think they win. I like the Ravens here, and I think too many people it's one of those plays where it's the Chargers almost seem like it almost makes too much sense. So I saw that. Yeah. And I don't know. I started thinking. That. So the Ravens need it.
I don't think the Chargers make too much sense. In fact, I think more of the public I think is going to be on the Ravens side.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case.
The Sharps are on the Chargers. I know that.
Okay, guys, here we go. My number 1 pick, and I was thinking about switching at the last second to Detroit because they're so good, but I have to stick to my guns. And I know Mike hates this pick. And it's so funny. Every single week when I love a team, Mike comes on the text stream with the exact opposite. And I'm wherever I am in my room, and I just start laughing. And I'm like, God damn, like he and I think so dissimilarly on these games. And I knew, I saw all the stuff that he saw about Tomlinson losing on Monday night and on Thursday nights and not covering the spread and how the Browns are always close. Still, I'm going to do it because I think Pittsburgh is that good. I'm going to take the Steelers. I think if you lay just a little extra juice, you can get it at 3 right now. But most places it's 3.5.
No, it'll be 3 by game time.
It's all.
Well, let's just.
Let's not. That's what we're. It's all 3.5. It's all 3.5.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, on my site, you can lay just a little bit extra juice and get it at 3. But whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, 3.5. I'm still taking Pittsburgh, and I'm going to take the better line of that one because I think you can find a 3. I don't want to argue about lines again. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I just think that their defense is phenomenal. I think they're going to step up. I know Woodley loves this pick also because he bet it. Is this your second pick, Woodley?
No.
Okay, it's not your number 2 pick. Okay, let's go right away to Mike, who hates this pick.
I do love it though.
I'm gonna give like 3 things. Okay, it's a short week. Tomlin is 0-7 on Thursdays against division opponents. Number 1. Number 2. Russell Wilson quarterback rating is 8% in the red zone. He's been sacked 11 times in the last 3 weeks, and it's 40 degrees with either rain or snow and 20-mile-an-hour winds. I love 3.5 at home. I really love this pick, and I'm going to be making a big bet on this tonight. But I think that it's they just took a 2.5 game lead in the division. It's Cleveland. These teams play wars all the time. Their defense is still really, really good, and with 20-mile-an-hour winds, they're going to the Cleveland run defense, even though what's his name went off, the backup quarterback for the Saints last week, has been pretty good all year. Their pass defense has been kind of shitty. So on the short week, I mean, this line opened 4.5, has been bet to 3.5. I think Cleveland wins outright. I'm predicting.
I don't know. I mean, this is like
the weather is huge in this game, buddy.
Dude, well, the Steelers are made for these type of games, man. They're like blue collar as shit. Like, you think TJ Watt is gonna feast in this game, like with Winston back there, and like Chubb does not look like the Chubb of old. All right, Pittsburgh's built for this. I mean, it's fucking Pittsburgh, dude. Like, ask Ben about this. And like, as far as Russell Wilson goes, like Wilson played in Seattle. It was rainy and windy there. Like, and this snow stuff, it gets overblown.
He's been sacked 11 times in 3 weeks, the most in the NFL. Red zone. He's the worst red zone quarterback in the NFL the last 3 weeks.
Well, they've been playing good teams recently, Mike, and like Cleveland is a dog shit team. Like, yeah, they beat the Ravens somehow. Like, they've looked terrible ever since then. I mean, they kind of played the Eagles kind of tough. They've been getting smoked. I mean, that's a bad team. Pittsburgh can smell it. It's not only is the division there for the taking, like the number 1 seed is there for the taking, right? They play Kansas City. They play Kansas City either Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, and like that might be for the number 1 seed, right? So like this 0-7.
I still think they lose at least 5 games, but that's my opinion.
We need a bet on. We need a bet on that. Anyways, they're gonna come in. They're fired up, and the wind and all that. It's you take that all out of the equation and look at the 2 teams. The Steelers are playing freaking amazing on defense and well enough on offense, and they were winning even earlier with Justin Fields, who was doing nothing. Now you have Wilson back there, and if Wilson does nothing else, you at least have to protect against the pass, and you have to protect against the deep pass. So they should be able to run all over the Browns.
You really want to go against a coach that's never won on Thursday night against a division opponent? He's 0-7.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened 14 years ago with like Ben Roethlisberger.
It means he's a bad coach on short weeks, is what it means.
Well, fortunately, we're betting this, Mike. So like, we will see.
Yeah, we will. We are betting it.
Yeah, we will see. Anyways, I love the Steelers. Love them.
Yeah, I love the Steelers as well. I'm going to make some sense for you. Mike is really worried about Russell Wilson, this, red zone, this.
They were completely outplayed last week. They got lucky.
But Mike, I'm going to make sense of this for you.
Okay.
The Steelers don't even need to score a touchdown, and they're going to cover this easily. I'm going to go with the Steelers have now won 2 games where they didn't score a touchdown. Make this 3 games. I'm going to go 18-6, 6 field goals, to 2, and I think they win easy.
Russell Wilson will be
by
benched.
double digits.
We'll be benched if that happens.
By the way, that's just not true. This is a hard game, short week. This is not a panic. They're going to move the ball just fine. They're going to recover some turnovers. Horrible, cold, windy weather. This is 18-6.
I got one other thing to say. I heard this this morning. I was watching on TV. I just heard this, and it's like, and I don't understand this. Is Field, when he was in there, he struggled to get the ball downfield, but he was at 80, had an 86 passer rating in the red zone, where Russell Wilson has an 8% passer rate. Why don't they put Fields in the red zone and get the balls moving inside the 10-yard lines? I heard that take this morning, and I think they're right. Why don't they do that?
So, Mike, I don't think you can't have an 8% passer rating. I don't know what stat you're even talking about here. I don't.
Dude, he's like inside the red zone. He's been the worst. He's got like one touchdown his last 20 drives.
Okay, in his career, he has a 90. Oh, okay, one touchdown in the past 20. Okay, okay.
Yeah, he's not playing well in the red zone.
Boswell's been Boswell's been like the kicker of all
He's
kickers.
their MVP.
Boswell's been amazing.
He's the best kicker in the league right now.
That's not a reason to like them in a bad game. I mean, you're talking about like wind, rain, snow, and all this. Like, it benefits the team with the better kicker, and everything points to Pittsburgh. Other than like this, like the only thing that Mike can bring up that goes against him is like Tomlin is like 0-7. I don't care what happened 11 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. Like, all Mike has is history. And like,
how many games has Pittsburgh won by over 3 points this year? Like 2?
I'd have to look that up. Mike,
the last 2 they won by 1 and 2 the last. They won by 1 and 2 the last 2 weeks.
Okay, guys, listen. That's enough discussion about this. Danny, I know you posted all of our number 1 picks, and now it's time to do the number 2 picks. I'm just going to lead right off on this. My number 2 pick is Detroit -7. You can lay $1.15 right now. You can also find it at 7.5. I'm taking the 7 because that's what I bet it at. Detroit -7. And I mean, I just before I go on and on, somebody's on the opposite of this. Who's on the opposite of this one? Mikey, you go ahead. Give us your take.
Okay. The reason why I'm on the opposite of this is the whole world is on Detroit. So they're inflating the Detroit line. And they inflated it to 7.5. You can't get any 7s anymore unless you buy it down. Okay? Why is it they're begging? This is a game where everything it points to like Detroit should kill Indianapolis because they're not very good. But they had the letdown against Houston, which they should have lost. Pass interference wasn't called, gave them the game. And I just think that this is going to be a close game. I mean, getting this, I like getting 7.5 in this game. I think that it's. I just think that.
Okay, let me come back at you, Mike.
opinion.
First of all, it's 7 at my site this second. Okay, this second.
When you have to lay $1.20.
No, it's not $1.20. I showed it. You can go back and look at it.
What did you just show me,
$1.20.
Woodley? What did you just show me,
It
Woodley?
doesn't matter. It's 7.5 some places and 7 other places. So whatever.
Right.
it's
Like,
just
we waste
7.
too much time debating. Like, if I tell you I see it at 7 and 7.5, why do we have to
Whatever.
argue this? I just think they always have their foot on the accelerator. Dan Campbell does not give a fuck. This guy is just straight ahead. He'll do trick plays. He'll do fun plays. It's just really fun to watch them. They're just unstoppable. Goff is on fire.
They play the Titans and the Jaguars. They're great. Yeah. Should have lost to you.
Are you denying that the 9-1? What are they? 9-1? You think they're?
I told you they're going to win the Super Bowl before the year started. So
Well, then why are you arguing with my point?
No, he's
a bad spot for him.
And to me, when Hutchinson went down, I was like, oh man, there goes. And what happened? They came back and they beat the Vikings, and they've been creaming teams.
Don't they have the Packers on Thanksgiving next week? Who do they play on Thanksgiving?
Bears.
Next week?
Oh, they're gonna overlook look somebody for the Packers.
Bears.
That hasn't happened all
The Bears.
season. Detroit just
It's the
keeps
Bears.
running up the numbers.
They play
Oh,
the Bears.
suck.
Yeah,
Cantu, is this your number 2 pick as well?
It was, but I switched. This is how much I love it. I was between Pittsburgh and Detroit. I was back and forth. If there was a number 3, this would be my number 3.
Okay.
By the way, last week, this was one of my top 2 picks, the Lions, and I predicted that they would win 52-14. And what did they win? 52-6. I was a little off, but I got that 52 right. This is an explosive team. They can put up points in an absolute hurry. I love the Lions. The Colts are just off. I think about any team that isn't a great defensive team right now with how the Lions are clicking. I think they're just going to straight blow them out. They're the best team in the NFL. I don't even think it's that close as of right now.
No, I agree there.
If the Super Bowl was this week, they would be blowing everyone out. Now, of course, we know it's a long season. They're going to come back down to earth. When will that be? I think it might be in a few weeks from now, but they will have a coming back to earth moment. But right now, I would not want to play the Lions. I love the Lions big. I'm going to go, just because I hit it right last time, I'm going to go 42-13 this week. I'm going to go 42-13. I think the Lions absolutely roll them.
Square peg.
No, I don't.
Square peg podcast is back.
I gotta go. I gotta. So I'm gonna take him 7.5, and I gotta agree with Mike on the Colts and the Lions have been on a bit of a generational run against these bad teams. Okay, they put up 104 points against like the Titans and the Jaguars. They barely beat. They should have lost. They should have lost to the Texans. That Packers game was weird too, and they're 3 yards away from losing the Vikings. Right? And again, they are the best team, right, to be clear, right, but they're not like the world beaters that the recent eye test kind of shows. And I will also say it will catch up to them. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna play my starters. I'm gonna keep my foot on the gas. All that. Okay, fine. Do that. But it's not about sportsmanship. It's not even about keeping them healthy. It's about these guys it's a tough sport. Players drain over the course of the year. Carries take stuff out of running backs. There's a reason why a lot of teams do load management and stuff like that. So, I mean, if they want to continue to keep their foot on the gas and play their starters till the fourth quarter, they can do it. But, these games next week, these players are a little bit less fresh. The Colts are weird, man. I'm not a fan of that team, but Richardson came back and, that benching, it did the job. He played
pissed. Good, man.
He was pissed. He threw the ball better than he ever has. He was running the ball. I ran for 2 touchdowns. It should be noted that Detroit's 2 monster wins have been at home. On the road, they've been a little more sketchy, like everybody has. But they've had a few road games in there they should have lost. The Vikings and definitely that Texans game. So 7.5. I'm not sitting here saying the Colts are going to come out outright and win. But I think the Colts keep it close. I think that's a solid team. I think Richardson is pissed. He looks better than he ever has. And again, this kind of is one of those things where Indy kind of has to win this game. This is kind of a game that they need to come back and win. And it's I'm not going to say Super Bowl.
Playoffs if they win this game.
It kind of reminds me.
Is this the Colts Super Bowl?
No, but it reminds me of the spot. It reminds me of the spot that Seahawks were in last week when the Seahawks were a touchdown underdog almost. And it's the same type of thing. It's the quarterback here, they're going to come out firing, and 7.5 is just too much. So, but to be clear, I feel listen, if Detroit wins by 30 points, I won't be surprised. I'll pick it in the Gregorich pool. We have to do 10-1. It'll be a 2 or 1, but I'll pick it. I'll play it. But, it's tough to go against Detroit.
Guys, I have to interrupt, and I had to do some fact checking on this podcast where Mike goes, oh, the Steelers, we're talking about the 3.5. And I hate it when Mike just throws stuff out there.
I did that as well. Yeah.
Hold on. I had to fact check him. He's like, oh, they've only won 1 game or maybe 2 by 3.5 points.
The last 2 they've won by 2.
No, you said all season.
Good Lord.
The last 2 games they won by 1 and 2, and they should have lost them both.
They've won 6 games by 8 or more.
You said all season.
6 games by 8 or more.
God.
6.
They've almost won every game by a touchdown or more.
Yeah, they played who'd they play? Go look at their wins. Their wins are all against the worst teams in the league. They played the Chargers without. Oh, they played the Chargers without.
They beat them by 10. Mike, they beat them by 10.
They didn't have their quarterback. Okay, he didn't even play after the first quarter, asshole.
At Falcons, is that easy?
I mean, but the Browns are a good team, Mike. The Browns are this good team that's gonna they
at Denver.
The Jets are better than the Browns. The Raiders are better than the Browns.
And by the way, they beat the Raiders by 19. They beat the Jets by 22. I mean, they really won big.
They beat the Chargers by 10. That's a playoff team. They beat
the
Broncos
was with no
by
Herbert.
7. By 7.
No Herbert.
They beat the Broncos by 7. That's a playoff team. They beat the Falcons by 8. That's a playoff team.
I know.
I don't think the Falcons are a playoff team. They're
anyways, we just had to fact check, Mike. Back onto the show, Phil.
All right, back to get control of the podcast here. We're going to go with Cantu's. Are you ready for your second pick, Cantu?
I've already given my second pick.
Oh, sorry.
It's
all right, and I gave my second pick too. All right, we're on Mikey.
My second pick, I almost made it my first pick, and I almost made it my third pick because I like the Vikings so much. But I feel so good about this pick. I don't even know why I didn't make it number one. There's one team in the NFL right now that is a threat to beat the Detroit Lions, and that is a team that is 8-2, 6-0 the last 6. Jalen Hurts, 17 touchdowns, 1 pick. I'm laying the 3 against the Rams. I love this game a lot. I think the Eagles are the second best team in the NFL, and I really believe that.
No.
No way.
There it is.
Mike.
That's my pick. Go look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Since their break, 6-0,
Numbers lie.
17
Numbers lie.
touchdowns, 1 fucking pick. They are destroying teams on the run. They have like big play. They're making all kinds of big plays. They look great.
Woodley, recency bias enters into it. It occurs to me. Woodley, what do you think?
I mean, we just done Mike saying the Steelers have beaten no one, even though they've beaten 5 playoff teams. The Eagles have looked great against the Giants, the Bengals, the Jaguars, and the Cowboys. Wow, it just, Mike dropped a little bit there.
They handed it to Washington in the second
Mike
half. Mike
said Philadelphia is a top 3 team.
On the road.
Mike said Philadelphia is a top 3 team. We all disagree.
I think they're number 2.
I think
they've been bottom.
That's absurd. It's absurd. I think the market is. I mean, it's funny because the Sharps actually hate them. Like the Sharps have them way below all these other teams. But I think they're a little bit better than that. I think they're somewhere between where Mike says and where the market says. But I like the Rams in this because at LA, I think that Rams team is solid. I think Philly.
Yeah, at LA they'll have no fans there.
Okay, it's still not at home. I mean,
Eagles fans travel better than anybody.
Okay, but it's still tough to play in Philadelphia, Mike. It's Saquon looked amazing. I mean, Saquon is like the key to that whole thing. I mean, he's looked really good. I'm not.
Hurts has looked great.
I don't know, man. Hurts has benefited
17 touchdowns, 1 pick. What? I mean, how much better you want him to fucking play? You want him to have 18 touchdowns and 0 picks?
Well, he gets like all of his touchdowns because Saquon's been tackled inside the 1 like 6 times this year, and then Hurts comes in and gets the touchdown on all 6. So they actually brought it up to.
You mean he makes red zone touchdowns, not like what Russell Wilson doesn't do? I got it. Okay.
Anybody can get it from the 1-inch yard line, Mike. But the
Steelers can't.
The Eagles, they still have a lot of glaring.
Mike, you can't argue with every single point we make. Like
they have
Woodley finish and Cantu finish and then respond.
They have some issues there. I mean, if you look at these that I've been digging into, it's like the O-line rank, the D-line rank, pass, pass against, defense against pass, defense needs to rush, all this. Like the Eagles actually don't rate out to be like that great of a team, and I actually don't think Hurts is that great of a quarterback. I mean, he's proven time and time again, if you have a decently complex defense, like he'll turn the ball over, he'll make the mistakes, he won't make the throws. The Eagles should kind of cakewalk into winning that division. I think the Commanders is still good. I think the Commanders probably get that last wild card spot, but this is it for the Rams. I mean, it's Super Bowl this, Super Bowl that. I mean, the Rams
this is
have
a
to win
Rams
this.
Super Bowl? Did I hear?
They have to win this one, dude. I mean, it's at home. They have to. I mean, if you want to win that division, you have to win this game because like it's everybody's right here, and like the Rams might be the 4th best team in that division right now. They got to win this game, and you give me a field goal. I like it. I think it's gonna be a close game, and I think the Rams win outright.
I'm gonna make sense of this for you guys. Mike's been talking about this 6-game win streak, and you do have to beat who is in front of you. In the 6-game win streak, they beat 2 teams with 2 wins, 2 teams with 3 wins, and a team with 4 wins.
Yeah, and that's why Phil talked me off of last week. He talked me off of Philadelphia. He's like, they haven't played anybody, so I took Washington and got my ass handed to me.
Tell me when you're done, Mike. Okay.
I'm done.
Thank you, Mike. So they've played some real dog shit teams. I think it's fair to say, yeah, they're beating who's in front of them. They've even beat them pretty decently. With that said, I'm not a Eagles fan at all. And when it comes to the NFC West, we got the Rams over here. They're playing, by the way, they're playing pretty good football. They're kind of the Rams. Some weeks they look like the best team in the league. Some weeks they look like the worst team in the league, and then you don't know what else they're getting in between. I think they're better than what they showed last week. I think I really like the Rams a lot. I think they're going to win it outright. And as far as it goes with the NFC West, I don't think this is the Rams Super Bowl because I think all 4 of those teams, from like from Seattle to Arizona to the Rams and the 49ers, I kind of think they're all playing exactly the same right now. You want to talk about a team? I know the Cardinals are 6-4, and the rest of the division is 5-5. I feel like that division is going to play they're both real tough. They all have a real tough schedules coming up too, and they all play each other. I like the Rams.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to comment on this, and then we're going to go to Woodley for his number 2 tick, but not yet. I'm just going to say this: the Eagles have been soaring; they've been flying high, ha 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 ha, and so they've been fantastic. It's true, but I don't think they're real. And when the defense is boxing in Hurts, which we saw about 5 weeks ago, he was horrible. So I'm not against Jalen Hurts. I like him. I like the way he handles himself. I like the way he handled himself in college. But I don't think Philadelphia is anywhere close to the number 2 team in the league like Mike. And so
nowhere close.
I think the Rams are going to win this game. Philadelphia is due to lose a game. They have to travel all the way. They have to fly all the way to the West Coast. And I think they're just going to lose this one, but I think it's going to be really close. All right, listen, Danny, put the fire emojis all over Woodley's screen and all over every screen, because Woodley has been hot. Yep. And he's number 8 in our 140 player league, and he's somehow just getting it right. So Woodley's been a little hot. He was 2-0 last week. Mike's 0-12 on the podcast. Mike, don't respond yet. Woodley, what's your number 2 pick? And Danny, once he posts his number 2 pick, post all of our number 2 picks. Go, Woodley.
Yeah, I mean, Mike's going to hate it, and he's going to homer, but I've only actually picked these guys in my top 2, I think 3 or 4 times this year, and I think I've been right every single time, including last week. I love Seattle at home. It's 1 point. It's basically a pick 'em, but 1 point. Did they come out and shock the world? They didn't shock me or Cantu, but they did shock the world against San Francisco. That coach has, he's been in there like a wrecking ball. I mean, it's his way or the highway. My folks are in town right now, and they're from Seattle, and I talked to my dad a little bit about it, and he's like, nah, he's going in there. He's changing the culture. He doesn't care. I mean, they cut one starter. They got a freaking center to retire. Unfortunately, it didn't cure all their, hiking over the quarterback issues, but, they'll figure that one out. You can kind of tell he's gotten them to believe. They came out there and they did the one thing that was missing. They've been playing really good ball. I mean, this is a team not to be like Mike and be they could easily be 7 wins or 8 wins. The only thing that's been holding them back at times this year is Geno Smith throwing really, really bad passes, interceptions, that complete mental errors. And you dove in a bit and talked to a few fans, and they just think he had lost his confidence. And through that game, I kind of noticed it, right? Now, what's the best way for a player to get their confidence back? Oh, I don't know, lead a game-winning drive against your biggest rival to save your season and salvage your season, right? So, they beat the Niners. They're flying high.
They scored all 20 points when Bosa was out.
There's Mike.
Mike doesn't, Mike, he's just incredible about finding a fucking reason why no team in the NFL has ever earned a win unless he was behind him, unless his fucking precious Cleveland Browns, lightning strike, the entire Steelers offense could get food poisoning and the Browns would win, and he'd be they earned that one. Anyways, Seattle at home against Arizona for control of the division. Pick them at home, Seattle, and I like the Cardinals. Mike likes the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're really good at home. What are they? 1-5 straight up. 1-5 against the spread at home.
It's still at home. The weather is there. There's a bomb cyclone. It's outdoors.
Yeah. It's cold.
We got to talk more about that bomb cyclone.
There's no wind. There's no wind. There's going to be rain and cold. I know that.
Okay, meteorologist. But no, I love
Cantu can respond as soon as Woodley's done.
Yeah. Seattle. No, I love Seattle here. They're humming. That last piece of the puzzle, which they had last year, was Geno Smith having confidence. He has that confidence now. They're a really, really, really good team. And if he can keep that confidence, they win this division. If they win this Sunday, they control their destiny in that division. I think they win it outright.
Gotcha.
Nobody has asked me who survived the bomb cyclone. I just survived the bomb cyclone, guys. 40 trillion gallons of rain just poured from Vancouver, BC down to California. I survived it. It's still raining every day. This is perfect Seahawk November weather. Woodley actually said a really great thing about Geno and his confidence. I think he lost confidence in there was one game where 1 or 2, it's 2 games, he was throwing tons of picks. he plays really well, and then he was making these like
Awful.
inexplicable, just awful interceptions where it's almost like he just wasn't seeing people. I think he's got over that. I think the Seahawks are one of the most fun teams to watch. You want to talk about a team that just throws it around. They're not sitting here running. You want to see deep passes, deep shots. Jackson Smith and Jigba is absolutely playing incredible. With now DK's back, they're healthy. The only thing that concerns me is the Cardinals are coming off a bye, but my counter to that is the Seahawks had a bye 2 weeks ago. They look good. The Seahawks are healthy. I expect them to actually win by a touchdown, maybe 2.
Okay, Mikey, did you comment on this game already?
No, but here's the thing. Here's some stats for you, buddy. Okay, in their 5-game winning streak, Arizona has the number 1 offense in the NFL. They have the number 10 defense in the NFL in their 5-game winning streak. They have played the number 1 toughest schedule in the NFL, where Seattle has played the 23rd toughest schedule in the NFL. They're coming off a bye. They played the toughest schedule in the NFL. They have the number 1 offense the last 4 weeks. Seattle sucks. Okay, and they're 1-5 at home. Okay, the only thing good going for them is it's going to be 40 degrees and raining with no wind. I think that fucking Arizona crushes them.
Let me real-time fact check, as I can. The Cardinals have played the 2nd toughest schedule. Seattle has played the 12th toughest schedule. Seattle's played a lot of tough games.
23rd to be exact. Go look it up.
I'm literally.
Wait. I don't want to spend a lot of time where you guys shout back and forth. Okay. Let's go to Woodley's comment.
No, I mean, I already. This was.
Oh, sorry. That's right. I want to talk about this. Okay, this is on me. I love this. I love Arizona. It's going to be a track meet. First of all, Woodley's a homer. Cantu's a homer.
Yep.
And Mike and I see reality clearly.
How is Woodley a homer? Can I ask that just real quick?
Arizona's good.
He just told you his parents live in Seattle, and he was just like there.
Yeah, but I don't know that makes him a homer.
That doesn't make me a homer.
Oh, come on, he sucks fucking Geno Smith's dick every week. Oh, my team then lost. Oh, Geno sucks. I'm going to kill him.
Back to Phil.
Let me finish, guys. Let me finish. Okay. This is, to me, Arizona has been incredible, and they have played the toughest schedule. And you know what? We talk about Jekyll and Hyde. Seattle has been Jekyll and Hyde, and Geno Smith is the ultimate Jekyll and Hyde. There's no consistency there. He may drive you down the field and just throw like 3 careless interceptions. But I think that Arizona's going to put a lot of points up. They may score 30 points in this game because they're kind of unstoppable and they're just fun to watch. I haven't watched them enough this year, but Mike and I are in Arizona. And now, guys, unless somebody has really something super relevant to say, we're going to go to another segment. Woodley, last comments?
They can stop them. I mean, they're not going to they're not going to throw all over. I mean, the Niners have a ton of offensive weapons, and Seattle shut them down. Everyone except for that Juwan Jennings guy. So I think people are sleeping on the Seattle defense a little bit there.
They suck.
They're going to win the division.
I love that Mike is against this pick. I love it. I love it so much.
All right, it's Mike and I out there. All right, guys, here we go. We bought 250 Survivor picks at splashsports.com. 1 million guaranteed pool. $100 buy-in. That's $25,000 on Survivor picks. Cantu put $10,000 worth in like 2 weeks. Blamed Mike for it. Woodley's managing 150 picks. He's down to 2 picks. But I got to tell you something. 99.5 of the players in this league are now out. There's about 68 left. We have 2 of those picks. And we have lots of great choices. Woodley has saved Kansas City. Woodley has saved Houston. He's saved a bunch of really good teams. And so our picks are worth a lot of money. It would be really cool if somehow for the podcast this week we start picking 2 picks per week. And so Woodley, nice job getting us all the way down there. And I know that, it's getting to the point where now it's 2 picks per week. It's going to go real fast. You saved some really good picks. Is there anything out there on the edge that you like?
Can I throw a quick stat real quick before we go in? There are 7 games of 6-point or more spreads. There's a lot of ways to go, and I think this is going to be one of the most interesting. What do you like?
Yeah, I mean it's tough because you have to actually start picking 2 a week, and it's at this point it's really about balancing. Okay, there's like 70 teams left. A lot of teams have burnt to what Phil just said is like a lot of good teams have been burned. Like the Texans, we didn't even touch on the Texans game this week. The Texans are one of the best plays. We still have them, but only 10 other teams have them left.
I like them this week too.
We still have.
I don't know about cover.
We still have the Lions. We still have the Lions, and like only 18 others still have the Lions. We still have the Eagles. Only 21 have the Eagles. Everybody's gonna. We used Miami last week on both of them. Like I almost went Lions, Miami, but I told Phil I was like, we got to go Miami. We got to keep this Lions team at least in one of these entries. So I think we're gonna be rooting hard for the New England Patriots to win because I think a lot of people are going to be on Miami. I think.
That's why you don't like my pick. Gotcha. All right.
No, I don't like it. I think they win. I legitimately think New England probably keeps that close. But this weekend. I mean, there's you can get kind of cute. I mean, there's a ton of options here, so it's like it's weighing who
Go
we
ahead,
need
Cantu.
to keep, who we need to. The thing I'm going to mention though is like I mapped it out in these two, and man, like we're going to have to play a team like the Dallas Cowboys and the Titans at some point. And like it's bad. I have like
those two won't even win another game.
I have a week.
Woodley, we might need the Dallas Cowboys to win $1 million, and then I'm going to go to Cantu. But I want to say this:
do you like
the good thing is this.
Do you like the Cowboys on Thanksgiving versus the Giants? That's an interesting one.
That's where maybe we use them. If
that one guy, this quarterback that they put in there, I mean, I don't know. It's like
he sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, this game is like really weird. We didn't talk about this week, but like Tampa.
Mike, stop! I'm going to stop you right now. And here's why I'm going to stop you because I want to make fun of you. At least Woodley, Mike has no piece of any survivor pool picks. He will not be texting you to blow up your phone to tell you to go this way or that way. And if he does, Cantu and I, who do have a piece of this $1 million pick, we're going to come to his house. We have to keep Mikey's opinion out of it.
You guys got to give me a piece, or I'm going to root against you guys.
Right,
Mike, you would never root against us. We know this.
If Woodley's been hot, and to be honest, I kind of don't want to
influence him.
Yeah, I don't really want.
Taking this
hold on,
week, by the way.
One second, Mike. I don't want to influence them that much, but I will say a lot of these big lines kind of have upsets written all over them because there is a lot of rivalry games in here, a lot of individual. Everybody other than the Chiefs playing the Panthers, like on the road, like there's a lot of teams that know each other really well.
All the sharps are on Denver this week, and I don't know. I think they're buying really high here.
We used Denver already, though.
I'm just saying, like I'm a little bit shocked. I understand like Bo Nix's look great and everything, but like laying 5.5, 6, it's up to 6 now on the road. I don't know, dude. I think
Mike, we don't have them.
I don't know.
We don't have to talk about that.
I just wondering what you guys thought about.
All right, listen, guys. I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna say this. I'm in a $50,000 buy-in. We have 4 teams. I think 4 are left. So it's first place is 500,000. I'm on the doorstep now. I've already mapped out my next 4 picks, so it's pretty simple. But this week we're going with Houston. I'm gonna need Houston to win. Hopefully we lose a couple players. I'd like to get heads up and take 250,000 each. Now I only have half of the money on this one, but it would be really nice to pick up a little 100,000 ball. So we're on Houston. I like Woodley. Houston. Anything else?
I like Houston. I like Houston there. I mean, there's like, I mean,
I like.
We'll probably be on KC. Like, I mean, listen, if Carolina beats KC, like, whatever. Like, we'll die on that one. I like Houston with the other one just because no one has it. But to kind of go on what Cantu was saying, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like the Bucs are 6 at the Giants. New quarterback there, DeVito. Like the Italian thing going on. Like, do they find that Italian magic? I mean, the whole I mean,
I like the Bucs.
You would think Brady was coming out of like retirement. Yeah, but the Giants are like, dude, I don't know. Maybe it's just because the town I live in New Jersey is like all Italian, but people are freaking pumped. Like, you think it's like Super Bowl week, man. This DeVito kid.
I do like Tommy Cutlets.
They're gonna play hard too. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
And I think that the agent's like from the town I'm in. But and then I don't know, man. It's tough. I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath. And I think the other one that feels. No, I'm sorry. I was looking ahead with the Lions. The Lions probably feel pretty good at the Colts too, but we kind of like talked about it. I don't know, Phil. Like, good luck. I think you're on the right. Pick this one, and I think I just want us to get both of them through because I think there's like a really good chance that if we get both of these through, it's going to be down to like 25 entries or something because picking 2 is just freaking. And then credit to Splash for doing this. I wish it was a little bit longer, but in normal years, there might be like 400 teams left or 500 teams left. So, I give them credit for culling the field early. And here's my question to you, Phil. Do you think this thing ends before the end of the season?
Yeah, at 2 picks per week. I mean, a lot of bad teams have to be picked now. I was looking through it a little bit of the 70 that are left or whatever the number is, and I noticed that there are a couple of people that have some strong picks left, and so they've managed well to put themselves in a position to win.
Just go against the Jets. They're a fucking joke.
Did they play this?
No, they're off this week.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Guys, did I hear
was a
Woodley?
joke.
Did I hear Woodley say bloodbath? Oh,
Why?
I mean, you don't remember Trump got in all the trouble for saying the word bloodbath?
Oh, that's what
They
it was.
made that up. He was talking about the auto industry, and the fake news made it up. Was like, oh, he said there's
Everyone's
going to be
gonna
a
die. Everyone's
You
gonna
can't say
die.
bloodbath.
They got what they deserved. The fake news was exposed.
But no, this was fun, and Mike, I very much. I'll be at the Modest Mouse concert tonight. I believe it's like my 50th time seeing them, so I won't see the game.
Never
but I
heard of
look
them.
forward.
What's the name?
Modest Mouse.
Download.
Never heard of him in my life.
You've probably heard a couple songs, but I look forward to. I'll be following along the game, but not on the ESPN app. I will be just following along and how many meltdowns Mike has, and if he has,
We got 1,000. Hey, we got 1,000 on the game tonight. I got.
Wait.
the
Let me
3.5.
promote one last thing, guys. I'll be on the Poker Go app on Saturday. I'm playing poker with Ninja. I'm playing poker with Steve Aoki. I think Michael Phelps is going to be there. It's a nutcase milk. It's going to be a lot of fun. So anybody want to watch, it's going to be on the Poker Go app Saturday. And I guess, Cantu, you'll be around. Are you going to are you going to stop by Friday night, the one drop, Guy Liberté?
I might. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have my F1 schedule out yet.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
going anywhere near the strip.
Now, I know
Fuck that.
Woodley has to go, so I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Now, Mike, this is what they wanted to do. Woodley and Cantu had this plot. All right, I'm just going to reveal it now. They wanted me to say that I received an email from Steve Fezzik's agent.
That's why he picked Minnesota this week. See? I knew it. He got a fucking pick.
Fezzik. Mike's guy is Fezzik, and he can't
go
like
against
His
every
number
week.
one fan.
Fezzik.
I go against him every week, and that's what scares me. That's the reason why I didn't take Minnesota this
That
week.
is
by the
not
way.
true, Fezzik. He goes with you every week. He's
Every week.